Please rise in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to ask for your guidance and your leadership and help us to make the best decisions for the city of Chetopa and all the citizens that are in it. We also ask that you take care of those sick and afflicted and those that have nothing to eat tonight. We pray for the nation of Israel, our country, our state, and our city. In Jesus' name we ask this. Amen.
Amen.
First off, I'd like to address everyone in the room. Since this is my first meeting as the official mayor, full meeting, just want to introduce myself. My name is Bob Boyd, if you don't know me. I lived in Chetopa for the past 21 years. I spent 26 years prior to that in the U.S. Air Force. I'm a retired Chief Master Sergeant. And I also graduated from good old Chetopa High in 1977. So, that said, we'll get this show on the road.
Yeah.
1 year.
You're happy where you're at.
Yep.
Good this year, you're supposed to it.
We do need to advise everyone in the room that we are going to be recording the session. Anything you say will be recorded and put on a city-owned website or website,
YouTube and
YouTube
Facebook.
and Facebook. So please bear that in mind. First thing we have is the agenda that we need to have any additions or deletions.
Okay, I need to add visitors Chad Tyler
Yes.
and Rebecca Scoggins. We need to add those two as visitors, and then under new business, we have an employee's second job approval, a CMB license approval, and public works truck repair.
What was the second thing you had?
CMB license approval.
Okay, need a motion to accept the agenda with the additions.
Make that motion with the additions.
Second.
Got a motion by Ernie and a second by Brenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Nadine?
Yeah.
Councilmember Seaman? Councilmember West?
No.
Councilmember Dominguez? And Councilmember. Motion carried.
Motion carried. Next on the agenda is the minutes from the previous April 15th. Any discussion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion by Linda and a second by Justin. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf?
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez? Yes. Councilmember Benson? Councilmember Seaman? Yes. Councilmember Nadine?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the treasurer's reports.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Linda, a second by Justin. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Bentley? Councilmember Dominguez? Councilmember Wolf?
Yeah.
Councilmember Seaman? Councilmember Nadine?
Next is the warrant register. Question I have right off the bat. I know we talked about adding a porta potty to the Chestnut Park. Did we ever act on that?
I got a price on it. That was all I was supposed to do.
What price?
It's the $80.
$80. So we add that to the 160. Do we want to make a motion to add a third porta potty to add to the Chestnut Park?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ernie. Second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Megan.
Yep.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yeah.
Councilmember Dominguez. Yeah. And Councilmember Benny.
Motion carries. Now back to the warrant register. I would, like you to know that in addition to the checks that have to be written, we also have payroll. And 208 total hours of overtime for the month. But you do need to consider the fact that the PD dates are different than the rest of the city, if you'll note that. That is part of the warrant register.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Linda,
Second.
second by Justin. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Bentley. Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Wolf.
Aye.
Councilmember Seaman. And Councilmember Megan.
Okay, we're gonna move to visitors. We have Lisa Haney. Is she here? Please step to the podium, man.
I just wanted to discuss the fact that we don't have, I checked with the girls in the city office and we don't have a current ordinance restricting, commercial vehicles from residential zones. I have multiple autoimmune diseases and my doctors are yelling at me for not sleeping enough, but I have a semi parked, sometimes it's 5 foot, sometimes it's 10 foot from my bedroom window. And, you know, a commercial vehicle has to, warm up for an extended period of time at 5 a.m. And that's a nuisance. I've checked a lot of other places have this ordinance in effect because this has happened to other people, I'm sure. Not the first. And so I just wanted to bring it before the council and see if we could put something in place where someone can be that close to with a commercial vehicle.
Thank you for bringing that forward. Code enforcement, isn't 5 o'clock still within quiet hours in Chetopa?
There's no, we're not zoned. We have no zoning to say where trucks can and cannot be parked.
Okay, I'm not talking about trucks, I'm talking about noise.
The only noise ordinance I'm aware of pertains to radio stereo systems.
And animals.
And the only ordinance I'm aware of is stereo systems. Can't be heard without 50 feet outside of the vehicle.
Okay. Council? Any comment?
Is the truck on its own personal property right there?
It's right, yeah, it's,
But it's on its personal property?
yes. But there's actually supposed to be an easement that's on properties,
Mhm.
but it's on the easement right alongside my fence.
What's your address?
320 Mulberry Street,
What'd you say? What'd you say?
320 Mulberry Street.
I know we have signs in the city limits, no semis allowed. I've seen those on the side of the road. That's strictly, I think, for weight purposes. So we will table this and look into it for you.
Another one thing to mention is it's such a tall vehicle. It also obstructs me when I'm trying to get out of my driveway, but also that's kind of a safety thing, but
Okay.
also the noise. So,
Okay, thank you for bringing that forward. We'll get back to you with some kind of answer on.
all right, thank you.
Next is Chad Silent. And I know his wife, I met her this last week. Jessica, welcome. They are our new inhabitants. They bought the Sinclair station and several, dilapidated buildings on Main Street to try to clean that up. So, go ahead.
We found the old light poles down here in the substation, and I had asked about buying those from the city. A few of them I want to use at the Sinclair station to do the lighting around the parking lot, and so it'll match the city when we restore. So we're going to restore that Sinclair station back original, like it looked in the 30s. So I want the poles to match for the lighting for the parking lot and around the back fence. But I was wanting to make an offer of, there's 15 poles over there. I wanted to make an offer of $1,500 for the poles.
Any discussion on this, council?
Miles, do we use them for anything?
Okay.
No.
They're just laying back there, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a good offer.
We'll make a motion to approve the sale of our 15 poles.
Second. Okay, I've got a motion by Justin, a second. No, wait a minute. Ernie, did you make a motion first? Or just, you said you agreed?
I just agreed that it was a good offer.
Got a motion by Justin, a second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Nady, Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Wood.
Aye.
And then it was brought to my attention today that the old fire hydrants are back behind the building here. And we looked at those, and I was wanting to offer 25 apiece for those. I think there's 20 of them we counted today. If y'all was interested in selling those.
I do know that there have been some other folks that have asked about those before.
Yes.
So to me, that would be a first come, first served thing.
Okay.
Whoever wanted one, was there? Tammy, do you remember if there was anybody else other than you that asked for that ability to?
I'm the only one that aware of it, and it's because when I'm out there it's dated 1959, and that was the year I was born.
Oh. I'm interested in buying them as a bulk and buying all of them, so I just wanted to ask that too while we were here. It wasn't brought to my attention they was here till today, so it was a last minute deal.
They've been here for years.
Yeah,
We've talked about some of them before, right?
You still want one, Tammy?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what the dates are on any of the others?
some of them's newer. There's some older ones there and there's some newer ones there, so
And you're offering $20 a piece? Is that what-
25 a piece
25
on
a
the
piece.
hydrants,
Is
yeah.
that over scrap value, guys? Anybody?
I couldn't tell you that.
Mike,
Probably.
we have any use for them at all? Emergency?
By the time you load them and pay labor to haul them.
Yeah.
So,
I would say we should, if we make a motion, that we should carry out the 1959 to Tammy Bouchon. She asked for that, I know, for a fact several years ago, and we never had a city sale. So if we got no more discussion, please make a motion.
are you okay with that sale? Are you okay with that sale?
yes.
I'll make that motion.
A second?
Got a motion by Justin, second by Chuck, to sell, how many, did you count them?
I seen 20.
Okay,
If there's more, we'll buy those too, as for the 25 piece, whatever's there besides the ones she wants, we'll buy.
so we'll make that, one plus whatever Chad says the count is. Miles, we'll need you to verify that number, please. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Aye.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yeah.
Councilmember Bentley.
Aye.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Tammy, that's $25.
Since we did that, I'll pay for them and we'll donate that one to you.
Oh,
I'll bring it to you.
okay.
And welcome to town too.
Thank you.
didn't
We appreciate it.
Okay, Becky Scoggin. She here? Where's she?
I'm
Hi.
I'm here on behalf of the Spring Fling Committee, and we have a few things that we'd like to do for the city or with the city's participation with some of the money that we had raised. So I sent some pictures to Crystal. A couple of things we want to do is, I don't know who painted the sign here, but it looks really good compared to, can you go to the next one?
I think the homeowner way on that corner actually.
That. That's one of the things that we would like to do is to change those signs. I don't know what the legal end of that is, if you can paint those. That one is obviously painted, hand painted, because it's not, you know. But that's something we want to do, but we also would like to do, spray the brick sidewalks, with some weed killer, and along the highway where the weeds are grown up on the sidewalk. And then I want to have, someone come in and spray or power wash the brick sidewalks to bring those back to life. I think that will really help Main Street. And then the other thing would be to, paint the light poles that are on Main Street. Those, I don't know, have been painted maybe 20 years, maybe, I don't know. But I think if we put a coat of paint on them and painted them black or something, they would really pop with the sidewalks redone, and that would maybe make it a little bit more, presentable for Main Street. So, I guess what I'm here asking is if our committee was to purchase the supplies that needed to be done, can that be something that we can work with the city with, as far as the painting the light poles? If not, is that something that, we could maybe sign a waiver and have a committee do ourselves, or, I just kind of really need to know if this is something that you guys would be on board with.
My opinion, any improvements to Main Street would be.
Well, that's kind of how I feel, but I just didn't want to just jump in and start doing.
And you know what, your perspective just, I never look at that, I mean, I see old stuff and I think, well, it's just old, but you gave another perspective to
Well-
me and I'm like, that would actually look sharp. So,
That
yeah.
one street sign, I don't know, it's 11th and Cherry, I believe,
Yeah,
but it's obviously been hand painted by somebody, and I don't know who. I would really love to find out,
It's
because
the owner of the house right there on the corner.
where Scofield's lived or whatever. And I don't know if that's something, if you can just, if the city can take those down, we can get them painted. Or, I don't know if you've seen all of them on Main Street, but they don't stand out. I mean, they're pretty much like that other one that's sitting at the corner of the church. And I think it would really make a big difference and not be.
and I don't know how long it's been, but I remember a long time ago, those poles being painted too, though.
Painted them when I was a teenager.
That's
Yes,
right.
because there was a street crew.
That's right.
and
That was
did
restitution.
sidewalks. Yes.
For $6 an hour.
Yes.
Yeah, that's back when they had the volunteers.
Yeah, you got paid by the
yeah.
state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Work you like 38 hours because they couldn't work you 40 or something.
right.
But
I'll take you back a little further. In 1976, they were painted red, white, and blue with a star.
Yep.
And I was on that program.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because people don't know down at the bottom of the bases of them, there are stars in there at the bottom of the bases.
Well, that was Centennial, so they painted for Centennial.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, 76.
I mean, I understand that the city is understaffed. It's something that our heart is really into that, and we really wanna dress Main Street up. If the city is not able to help, if the employees aren't able to, if somebody can supervise us while we do it, or whatever, I don't care, whatever you guys decide. We just would really love to help Main Street.
I'll tell you what, Beck. You're right. We don't have the manpower to support that at this time in the public works section anyway. But I guarantee you, if you ask for volunteers and probably got a leader or two in the back row over there.
I've
We
got
could get
several
this
on
thing.
hand that will help.
Yeah.
I'll loan you my scissor lift. It'll reach as high as them.
I was gonna say, we were gonna run a scissor
Yeah,
lift,
don't worry,
so.
when I got one.
Just paint them in place.
Yeah, you can just pull up, I mean, not the street signs, cause you don't want it off there, but you can go down Main Street with it down there along
Right.
the shoulder of the road parking area and you can get up and down it.
So what is the, legal end of it as far as like spraying the sidewalks? And would I be okay to do that and do Main Street, the curbs?
Interestingly, that you bring that up, we had a city employee, and this, no fault of his own, but he was weed eating the sidewalk and threw a rock into a business window this week and broke it. So there's liability there.
There's
We've sprayed them for years. And if
Right.
they spray them early enough, then they could even get down there with a propane torch after it dies and burn it down. I mean, well, there's ways to get rid of it, and like you said, then power wash it. And
Right.
You can't go down Main Street with fire there, you can burn down.
Well, if we
Main
bail
Street.
it and then sell the hay.
Not in the business district.
Rebecca's already, sprayed it last weekend. She went and ground up down Main Street.
Did she do the sidewalks too? The
Yeah,
bricks?
that's what she did.
All of them?
I don't know, she did down there in,
The little
Yeah.
curb thing,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks horrible,
that's
so,
nasty.
yeah, yeah.
Might
She
take
did
some
do the same.
manual labor,
Huh,
might take some manual labor using your hands.
right,
The sweeper doesn't work, because the city sweeper don't work.
It has been operational. I think Jerry Midget was, showing some people how to operate it, not too, Mike, it's still parked down in the old.
not sweeper.
It isn't?
No, I think some of it's
Right down
out
here.
here.
It's out there.
New
in that-
rollers?
Yeah, it's out there in that,
Is it?
yeah. That lean to.
Dan used it when he worked here.
That's what, I thought we did use.
our thought was if we sprayed it with the weed killer, the brick sidewalks, and then went back and power washed them, that it would hopefully pull some of that out, and it's just water, it, would hopefully clean those up. Ideally, I would love to see it done before Memorial Weekend. I know that's far fetched, but, my grandson had ball games, so I didn't get in here soon enough. This last month's been pretty busy, so, but, I mean, we've got people that could help. I just need to know what you guys will allow us to do and what we,
The only concern that we've had recently is using city equipment by volunteers. If people are willing to step forward with their own stuff until we get this worked out. And I will say, we've got, I'm gonna say we've got a waiver form in the works. But I also got with Kim Riddle on the city insurance to find out what our overrider says about using city equipment. He has not been able to get corporate to give us an answer on that just yet, so I'm gonna hold back on loaning out city equipment. But
we don't have a problem, renting a scissor lift.
Yeah.
Or whatever we need. We just wanna make sure that it's okay with you guys, as far as whatever we do, or if Chuck's is personal, we'd be more than glad to rent it from you, whatever it
I won't charge you
takes.
anything for
would
it.
you wanna share any dollar figures that Spring Fling bought in, or do you have that total yet?
So, roughly about $1,500 after our, expenses.
Wow.
But we also didn't charge a whole lot for the car show and stuff. Our thing was we just wanted to get them in the door. Next year, we're hoping it's bigger and better.
Sure.
So,
Well, that kind
but
of
we
shows you
figured
what.
we could buy paint with us doing a lot of the labor and stuff. If that's the case, then we could at least buy the paint, the weeding, whatever it takes. And my son-in-law has a power washer, so I'm gonna volunteer him if it's approved, so.
There you go.
But that's our idea. You guys just let me know,
Yeah.
what you think and what we can do, and we'll go from there. So,
I'm not gonna volunteer the chamber on this, but, maybe that's a door to knock on nicely. I think, are you a member of the chamber?
Yes.
Yeah. But whatever we can do to support it from here, I'm sure all the council members would buy in on that.
Okay,
And
you
I know
know,
Brenda loves that kind of stuff.
do we need to have approval for the light poles or?
I think we probably ought to go ahead and make a motion on the street signs if that, and the light poles, if that's what you're getting at.
Yes,
If we can get a motion.
I mean, cause I'd like to purchase.
I'll make that
everything and
motion.
stuff, so.
I'll second it.
So a motion by Ernie and a second by Chuck.
And you know, if you need any help, I'll be there.
And so I mentioned black for the light poles, is that okay, or? Most of the towns are going to the black, it just kinda makes it pop,
I
You
don't-
know, it'd have to look a lot better, like look Parsons Main Street down there, they went with the black, and that's the one thing you do notice, they're shiny.
but I do know that they just bought light poles, so I wanna make sure that they, you know, you guys are okay with it too,
They're getting
so.
black, or St. Clair to green, so.
Oh, are you gonna do the poles there green?
Are you gonna do them green? I'm just messing with her.
Oh.
No, black is fine.
Black is
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
Okay,
We just
and
wanted to match the city out by the street.
if we were to do the signs, color wise,
That
do you
looks
like the green and gold?
green and
I mean, I
gold
think
looks-
they
looks
look
really good.
amazing.
I think that showed up just really
I
good.
thought it was, I'll be honest with you, Travis Rakestraw told me to go by and look at that.
Yeah,
And he said, look at that street sign. He said, it is amazing.
looks nice.
And I had to agree. I had to say, for sure.
Grancy. They're the ones that live there.
It looks like hornet green and gold to me.
Yes.
Becky, you have a sprayer?
What?
You have a sprayer?
I'm sure my husband probably does, but
Okay, I've got to pull behind
Sure, so-
the width of the sidewalk.
he's one of the volunteers. He just doesn't know yet.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, I got a 35 gallon, you can pull behind the mower and spray.
Well, I just don't, I don't know if we'll use a sprayer for the light poles, cause I don't know if
Oh,
they'll
well, I was
spray.
talking, never mind.
Oh.
I got you, yeah.
Oh, you mean,
Yeah, I was talking about weed sprayer.
yeah, weed sprayer.
Yeah, power
That one
wash.
does, yeah. All right, thank you guys very
Got one
much.
of those
Appreciate
too.
it.
All right.
Thanks, Becky. I had a motion by Ernie. Did we have a second?
Yeah.
Second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yay.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley,
Yes.
Councilmember Nading.
Yep.
Councilmember.
Motion carries. Okay, moving on. We have a vacated council position, actually my chair. From last week, we have one applicant. Mr. Josh Moore. He is a local businessman. And wishes to take the seat. Do you have any discussion?
I make a motion. And the city council.
My second.
Got a motion by Brenda, a second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nading. Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Yes.
Josh, please step forward.
Okay, Josh, I'm gonna do your oath of office, if you will raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of council member, so help me God. Do you swear?
Swear.
Great. Sign all the lines. Right there.
Please take the seat at the council table. Welcome aboard. Yes, exactly. Welcome aboard, Josh. We appreciate you stepping forward to take this position. It's quite intensive. Okay, we're gonna go through the city employees. Water plant supervisor.
Today we had a couple of guys from McGuire Iron come out and do an inspection on our water tower, mainly the riser. Riser is the main line that takes water up to the bowl in the tower. And the lifespan of those are typically 40 to 50 years. It was put in 1975. So we're 50. And we took all the insulation off. He done a ultrasound on it, kind of tapped around, scraped on it, and we found some leaks. And long story short, it needs to be replaced. Welcome aboard. So they're putting us a bunch of packages together, plans, what we could do as far as payment. And Bob, he was there if you had anything else to
Sure.
add to it.
And we got a couple of pictures to show you. Nobody really realized this because it was hidden behind insulation that wrapped the 10-inch pipe. The higher he went, it actually got better up by the round ball, but we have some pinholes and weeks running down the pipe. If we can get to that.
What kind of price are we looking at?
This is the actual pipe in question here, and the insulation is just left there for you to see how it really is surrounded. But in some of us's opinion, the insulation has caused the water to be trapped on the pipe and cause some of this corrosion.
Temperature change. It's almost
It's,
rusted.
I mean,
There's
temperature
one of the-
change.
There's a picture of one of the pinholes that we actually saw water weeping out of. This, like Mike said, it's supposed to have a 50-year lifespan, and guess what? The tower was built in 75. We're looking at $85,000 to $105,000, I believe he told us, to replace about 100 feet of it. The other section at the top is like it was brand new. For some reason, it didn't rust, but
He did say once, if you decide to replace it, you have to do the whole thing.
Right,
You can't do
underground.
just the top part.
Right. And we have to do underground too, because that,
Yeah.
they said that one lead elbow, and then wherever the sack it tied into,
Yeah.
that stretch it's underneath will have to be done.
That was about 12, 15 feet that we would be responsible for.
now luckily, this can be done at the same time that we were planning on taking the tower down for paint maintenance anyway. There was stress that this is not something you want to play with,
No, that.
because if it bursts, we lose our entire water supply unless Mike can just run constantly, which he'll have to do while we've got it shut down anyway, but here's another project.
Yeah, and that can be done since you guys installed the pumps and stuff and the generators and stuff. If anything happens, we can be on constant.
Yeah. Yeah, we've ran, before when they've had it out of service. So yeah, we can do that.
I guess what I was getting at is if it was to fail during the night and we didn't know about it and we lose pressure, then we got a boil order. So it's a big deal in my mind. They're gonna put some numbers together for us. We'll present this to the council at the next meeting, hopefully, and go from there. But
Don't we have to get somebody to take a look at the portion from the tower out?
Zach's gonna, I told him to get with Mike. Did he get with you?
He did not.
Okay. I texted Zach, Llewellyn to go ahead and get with Mike. He's done the other work out there already. He knows where the locator wires are and everything on it, so. That'll be another expense.
I have a question. When they did the initial repairs on the water tower, they allowed the city to pay it out.
Right.
Are they talking about
Yeah.
possibly
Yes.
doing that with this?
He already, yes, he did. He offered a payment plan, but I don't want to talk about numbers any more than what he gave us a total approximation until we've got something on paper to really bite into. Either way, we gotta find some money.
That's all I had.
Thank you, Marty.
That's enough.
And before I forget, I would just like, if, Crystal, if you'll go to the park pictures. There was a Chamber of Commerce, the VOAG, FFA folks, and all the volunteers that showed up last Friday to work on the parks. I think they just really came out beautiful. Those roses are really starting to show. All the trees that we put in years past, those are all leaving out really nice. I think there might be one or two that didn't make it, but we went ahead and mulched around everything. Thanks to the Bashongs for mowing Elmwood Park this weekend. Thanks to Joe Duvall for mowing the Veterans Park. Volunteers just stepped forward with their own stuff. We didn't even ask them to do it, but
Ernie got the ball.
Oh, no,
yeah, Ernie's all over the place with his mowers, so he got the ballparks. I know he was out here dragging the ball diamonds. So, the volunteers in this town are really starting to impress me. I'm very proud of us for what we do.
I do have one thing to say. We do need people to volunteer to help us water. I mean, it looks great right now because we had a lot of rain, but if we have more people, it's a lot less work than a couple, three of us looking around.
Sign up for a week.
Okay, we got it. And anyway, anybody that would like to help us, we would really appreciate it. It'll be hard.
And we might let you even drive your four-wheelers on the grass if you water.
No matter
They got
what
a rubber.
water.
They got a nice hose in a bucket.
Yeah.
It's not too
But anyway,
difficult.
we do appreciate the city giving us money for the flowers. And we did have a great day. The kids were outstanding and worked really hard.
And the volleyball pit looks really good with
Yes,
the new
it
sand
does.
all in there.
Our free sand delivered from SEK, Ready
Yeah.
Mix It.
It really looks good. The
yeah.
enclosures all put back together.
And Bob forgot to say that how much mulch he unloaded because we had 140 bags of mulch to my truck. And he probably did 130 some of them, so.
Well, I felt it the next day. No doubt.
So we really appreciate the city giving us the money to do that. Then I think there's a little bit of money left for paint. So,
Something to talk to you about after but you wait just hang around just a minute. It doesn't warrant being on that agenda. Okay, utility bookkeeper, city treasurer.
I don't have anything.
Court clerk.
I don't have anything.
Well. Ready, Amy? Can I show one picture? I was over to the museum not too long ago and I saw this picture and I thought it probably warranted to be shown since it's her first
What?
full meeting.
Oh.
It's under Amy.
Is there any?
Yeah. This young lady never dreamed that she was going to end up being a city clerk. I don't even know how old that is. She was young.
she's got the same smile.
Yes.
I'm gonna grab Bob's picture up there.
Yeah,
but.
Hey, back.
It's okay. Okay, Amy. You got the one.
nothing.
Nothing we need to talk about. Guess that means Shane's up.
The only thing I need is, you're already aware, I think you've seen it, I heard it. Prepared to release your question associated with mowing. And sent it, I think I sent it yesterday.
We did get that. Thank you.
Well,
And I would like to speak with you after the meeting too, Shane.
before you leave.
Police chief,
No,
city supervisor.
If you wanted, is this on the agenda, the vehicles that you want to talk
Yeah,
about?
let's
later?
talk about it. we have several vehicles in the city's possession that they're insured and somewhat operational, but there's probably one, two, four, at least four that could be put on Purple Wave. We've either replaced them with a newer model like the digger truck for the poles. And I'd like for the council to look at that. I'm gonna pass this around. There's four there so I've been identified by the city supervisor that we could probably do without. Save us on the insurance, maybe make a little money, but we're not using them.
Isn't there a reason we keep the 99 Ford dump truck? I think we use it for
99 Ford.
the dump truck. I thought there was an attachment or something on it.
It's the one on the front, the 75 one, I think.
Yeah, the one on the front part of the page, the 1975 Ford.
70.
That's the only one the spreader fits on.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, I was thinking wrong.
since I've been here, we've used
Okay.
none of them, but Rogan got the 1975 truck running and moving. Yeah, the overhead one.
That's the one you always use when you pick up the brush and the stuff.
No, never used it.
Never used it.
Never used it, but the spreader that's out there that we've also never used.
For chip and
that-
seal?
I think so.
Okay.
That's the
Gotcha.
only truck that it actually
All right,
fit.
now I'm up to page.
Josh, are you familiar with any of these? Okay. Would you agree that
I think I need to go away if you're not using them. Why pay insurance on stuff that sits?
The 99 Ford dump truck, the F700, the top one on the backside. That's the biggest dump truck we have. The problem with it is that the brakes are locked up and it's a really sophisticated system apparently, that nobody wants to work on. And,
Fleet Solutions has already been talked to about it over here?
yeah, I talked to him about it. He says it is very difficult to work on that type of brake system.
Is it air over
He
hydraulic? I guess I don't know.
He didn't say whether he would do it or not, but
Hydraulics.
he
Is
did
it air?
agree that the difficulty of repairing it.
Okay, so this 90, okay, so
99, the very top one.
yeah, 99. Which one was the one that we bought of Zach? Well,
That's a Peterbilt or Kenworth, wasn't it? That's a
Yeah.
bigger one.
Kenworth,
That's
right,
Kenworth,
it was
okay.
Kenworth.
That one's probably gonna come to.
right.
The Kenworth is fine. I mean, it has some slight issues, but it's
That digger
But
truck's a
it's-
liability. The
diggers. Yeah, probably.
is the old yellow Ford on here too?
Yeah, the yellow is the one that.
92.
It doesn't have the scissor lift on it anymore.
But the scissor lift is back there.
It's back there.
Yeah, it needs to go with it if you're gonna get rid of it.
Sure. Old sewer truck.
Yeah, that's your jet rod truck that was out here.
Yeah.
It's got a 7.3 in it. All these things start up, because put them on Purple Wave or any of that big iron. If they run, they bring more money.
We had to put batteries in it. The sewer truck, I've never
Right,
I've never seen it run.
All right.
So
That old IDI 7.3 would run at one time.
but,
I had it.
I think I can get around.
I'm gonna say I had it running, but it's set for.
Does Purple Wave send an inspector around?
They do a video. They used to do a video. Basically, if it starts,
Yeah.
you know, it's buyers beware. If they'll do a video if it starts, and then they got dumping oil out of it, you're good to go.
Yeah. Somebody will purchase all of it.
Oh, yeah. I make a motion to put them on Purple Wave.
A second.
Got a motion by Chuck, second by Josh. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Motion passes. 4, all 4,
Yes.
that's what it was for. Thank you. Okay, we'll go with the council now. Ernie,
Well, you kind of said what I wanted to say. I wanted to tell everybody that had been volunteering and doing everything that I think it looks a lot better, and thanks for the help. And, all of these ideas that everybody has, that's what we want to see. Bring them to us, come to us and tell us your ideas, because without that vision, without that foresight, thinking about stuff, we can just keep muddling along. But that's how we move forward, I think, so. And, I would like to make one other statement, and just a little one. I would like to say, if anybody ever has an issue with anything, come talk to me or come talk to, any of us on the city council when you see us. It's easier to talk to us face to face than to read something on Facebook. So I would appreciate that.
Invoices?
No, without the reason.
No, that's with the sewer update, we'll tell.
okay, Brenda, what have you got? Appreciation goes out to Brenda. I don't know who all she enlisted, but she, headed up the recording committee and getting this smart TV to be smart for us. So thank you for doing that. Chuck, what do you have?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Josh? No, not yet, okay. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you next meeting. Linda?
I just wanna ask, like, about the trailer house that's down there by the school again. I know they've been served. Has anybody heard about that? Scott, do you know?
I'm sorry, I can't.
The trailer house that needs mowed, or trailer house that needs torn down, but the lot that needs mowed last year. Right
The-
across from Cindy's.
It was.
Yeah.
It was on the initial 26.
Okay. Okay. Right. And I see her fence is fixed. I don't know who did it, but it looks better from the
It's
schoolyard.
partially fixed.
Yeah.
Blows over
Well,
every time
yeah.
the wind blows.
Yeah. But, oh, that's all I have.
The cats aren't gone either.
Huh?
The cats aren't gone either.
No cats.
Oh, excuse me?
Your cats aren't gone either.
Right.
Exactly, they're everywhere around the bank.
Yeah.
I counted 7 on Pecan Street as I was coming over here today in one group. I might add 2. The trailer over here that spurred our 20-year is still there and it looks abandoned. So that's another one that here the property they walked off the list to us, in my opinion. Don't know what to do about it, really. What did you have, Justin?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, we're gonna move on to old business.
Can I ask one thing before you move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Talking about the parks, Elmore Park has a lot of big potholes.
Yes,
And you know, when we got those $50,000 and $70,000 RVs coming through there,
yes, ma'am.
you can't dodge them any longer?
Can I answer that before we go on?
Yes.
Crystal's ordered cold patch for us.
Karma patch, still waiting on them to approve our sales tax certificate. It was not approved yesterday, so hopefully this week and we'll get it shipped within 5 business days.
And they deliver
They delivered
a
it.
2,000-pound bag, I believe you said.
Yes,
Yeah.
2,000-pound bag, you just pour it in, I actually watched the video this evening, you pour it in, and you just drive over it, it packs it down, you don't have to use any fancy tools or anything.
Oh, great.
I saw somebody use sand to fill the one out there that was a monster, but for right now, it's working. But,
Actually, I think that was an accident.
It
was in the front of Phil's tractor and it went over.
oh, come on. It's too neat for that. But anyway, I will tell you that filling potholes is one of my number one priorities.
Good.
Since we don't have money to overlay or mill
Right, yeah.
streets. And
I just know Memorial Weekend's coming in, and so, you know, we want them to look nice, and we don't want them to
And
think.
we do, so far at Overall Park, we have only 2 spots left for, campers, and then we have spots for tents. Everything else is booked.
that's
For
good.
Memorial Weekend, yes, yeah.
And we've got a napping into this month too.
Yes,
The following weekend.
Which will be the Delmar. And I don't wanna let the cat out of the bag, but because I'm asking questions as many as my brain can ask, but when we had a meeting today with the sewer project update, and as you know, we're coming to the end of this project, and a lot of you have properties that have ruts and damage to your property where the trucks were in. If you're not happy with what they've done, make sure you call the city office and get back on the list. And was specifically named.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The park's not rut, it's a little pond.
Right. Matter of fact, in the meeting today, I gave them your last name and address, and they should be coming to see you to make you happy.
Good, thank you, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. But in that same meeting, I'll tell you that knowing that what we know on the payment and the amount of money that we had as a grant to spend, I just asked the question today. Made them laugh, but if I asked if they're within the scope of the project, would they be able to do anything to help us out with the damage to our streets that all their vehicles have caused? Not just theirs, but there's a lot of heavy vehicles. I think that one had a 500-gallon tank of water on the back of it, and it was driving all over the place, but maybe we can get some funding out of them to help with our street patch the holes too. They didn't know whether the Kansas Water Office would buy out that or not, but hey, I asked.
Bob, do they know when it's gonna happen, when they're gonna get that filled? Not just mine, everybody's, but.
They're working on it now. Some people have already seen the results, my
Yeah.
understanding.
They'll be done with everybody by the end of the month. They think they're only gonna be 30 days out and be done.
And, I thought they were gonna zoom in tonight, but have you heard from them? Cause I'll go ahead and brief their stuff.
They're not going to if we didn't have any questions.
Then remind me to keep off a little bit. I've got the sheet that. Okay, old business, there's a Hocket nuisance resolution. Which is,
So there's one here.
okay, there you are. Would you like? This is Mr. Go ahead. Jason.
Since the wife's accident, we've had trips, once with Kansas City, once week to Wichita for physical therapy and stuff like that, and we literally got out there today and pretty much got it somewhat cleaned up. Better, a lot better than what it was, so. And I've got pictures if you'd like.
Yeah, I went by there. It's quite a bit cleaner than it was.
Is the pile on the side of the road gone?
Yeah, no. It wasn't in when I went by. It was probably 2 hours ago.
Okay, we called for a dumpster, they said that we were next time up on the list, so.
Is that a fact?
As soon as one's available, we go to whoever was first, yeah.
I mean, do we have a list that their name is on? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
The council? Attorney, is this the question that we go with the 10 days from now, or can we? It's discretionary. Discretionary? It's up to the council discussion then. Has anybody else drove by?
Can we table it?
Let's table it.
Look at it.
Got a motion by Brenda. Second by Chuck to table. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Bentley, Councilmember Warren,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Motion passes. Table. No action at this time.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up. Okay, employee meal allowance ordinance. We talked about this at the last meeting. We did not have any guidance. So, ordinance number 996 establishes per diem meal allowance, to follow the IRS directive each year. We can change. For employee meal allowance, I believe, didn't we say $68 is what it currently is per day?
Yes.
Okay. And B, mileage reimbursement for the use of a personal vehicle is also to be, the IRS standard mileage rate standard each year. So I just need a, council motion to approve ordinance number 996 to be added to.
I make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion by Linda, a second by Amy. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Yeah.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Bentley.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, I can stand it.
Thank you. Junk vehicle list update. I have anything on that?
I don't have a original.
PD?
I asked Travis about it. He said he didn't have one.
Sir Eckler's contract restitution.
Have an update on Eichler's contract restitution.
Yeah. Something I've
Have you gotten all the information from everybody that you're passing information on car leases?
I believe I do. I believe I do.
When do you think we could expect something on paper to proceed?
In terms of the lawsuit,
Yes.
it's gonna be a little bit yet, but I'll get one prepared and filed. We need to find her address. I don't know what it is.
We have it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll inform the council approximately $21,444 is owed to the city for breach of contract.
Who approved her leave? Did we vote on that? I mean, that was formal. Was that all voted on and allowed her to leave, or did she just, who authorized her to leave?
Sheila.
She just left, walked out.
A letter of resignation.
Who approved that?
It didn't come across the council that I remember.
Can we force someone to stay and work?
No.
I think that's,
No,
yeah,
Then what would we have one for?
it's a breach of
it's a
contract.
breach of contract, so he's stuck in the
It's
job.
over
You
in
can't
55.
force them to working.
No, it's at will, but I just want you to know that that's what we're going after for restitution. In accordance with the contract that was signed. Okay, sewer, project update. Like I mentioned earlier, we sat in on the meeting at 3 o'clock this afternoon with B and G and brief off of theirs. They're asking for pay application number 7 in the amount of $388,932.04. This is payment number 7. The work that has been completed, all point repairs have been done. Over 37,500 linear feet of lining has been installed. 175 service tap repairs. They're down to 2 additional manholes left to install. I think it's over on Cherry, is what he said. There's still some manhole improvements going on existing manholes. And evidently, whenever these things were installed decades ago, there's been some kind of corrosive interaction between the concrete or whatever they used and the metal. So they're wanting us to approve about $14,000 to treat six to 8 of these manholes with a coating that would prevent corrosion and degradation. I think we're going to go ahead and do that within the scope of the project. The money's there. He said that, what was it? They ought to last 100 years.
Yeah.
Or even better than that. That's probably about the extent. There's a few action items that they have to do on a sustainability physical, but they're going to get with you, Amy, on that.
This is our last payment too, isn't it?
Well, no, there'll be a final, because we're not letting them out of here till we're happy with the job.
Right.
One other thing that they did mention, and we probably will have to bring across the table. Evidently, either the water office or KDH&E, I can't remember, said that they have for a minimal fee of a few $100s, they want to come in and do a smoke test on the entire system. And if it's dry enough, any holes in the pipes will show. The smoke will come out of there. And they highly recommend that we do that because this project, as a lot of people know, some of it was done, in 2017 or something? Yeah. Our side, and this project. And then I think there's probably some areas still that haven't been done that we're not aware of.
There's a lot of fresh water running into it.
Yeah.
No, double checking your work. I mean, a couple $100 or whatever they said it's not.
Yeah, and Chuck did mention this to him today. In the last rainstorm we had, it seemed like we still had
Got a lot of infiltration
Yeah,
Yeah,
Miles and I went down there, yeah.
at the lift station, seen that.
Yeah, and in the normal rains, we used to go down there and at the river, those flaps would open up and half of the door would be standing open, that water would just be pouring.
Pouring in.
Yeah, and they weren't doing that. I showed Miles where they were at and that water barely trickling out. But the lift station's full. The alarm kept going off and, with 2 50-horse pumps running with 8-inch pipe on there, there's no way they can keep up. It means fresh water running through the system.
Running through it.
Yep. They're gonna try to help us find it.
right.
Because they said they could stop it up to 80%. Normally, any town we went to, they solved that problem by 80%. Well, we haven't knocked that down yet. We didn't gain 20. Tammy's got her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My understanding from somebody that was on the council when the project was done in 2017, when they came through with the smoke detector test, some of the problems is cracked pipes and things in people's yards, and the council at that point wasn't willing to
Yeah. But they'll find that.
take a stand and say, you gotta fix it, because
It'll
we're
come up
getting.
everywhere.
You're exactly right, Tammy. He did bring that up specifically. But they also said that what they have experienced this time is that almost everything they have encountered has been up to code, basically. That the piping is really good from people's sewer main to their houses that they have encountered this time. So if we do the smoke test, and that'll have to be approved, I think, by the council, that is exactly what will show up with the test. Is if you've got a leak in your yard between the main and your house, the smoke is going to be in your yard, and you will at least know it. Otherwise, it's leaching into your yard.
Well, I mean, the people's gonna know and they can't blame it on the city, I mean, for having problems or something like that. I mean, just note it on the, whenever it's done, that's where it's leaking out.
Let's see, the bigger picture is, if enough of those are leaking rainwater into the
It's gonna
sewers.
get in, yeah, absolutely.
This is the problem we've got out the lift station every time it rains, the manholes are overflowing.
But it's fast water. If that rains, as soon as it starts coming down, it starts filling that lift station. So
Right.
they know it's not soaking in there and getting into the pipes. They know it's a major.
Something big to force it that much
somewhere.
force.
Yeah, I thought I might call up in them deals. I'll get a flashlight, call up in them deals and find out where that's sewer or that water's going up in them.
Some kind of basement drains that are hooked up.
Yeah, and gutters.
I was wondering, I did the
Same gutters
gymnasium on
was
the
another
school.
issue, some people look
Gutters.
for gutters for
Yeah.
the sewer system.
And that was allowed.
Years ago.
Mhm. I wonder if the gymnasium was set up that way, because I don't know where that water runs off the gym, because they made me put that into that pipe when I put that roof on.
Yeah.
I had to go into them drain pipes with the downspouts. And I bet all that water's running into the sewer. That's a lot of water.
So do we wanna go ahead and pass the payment while we're talking about it?
Yes, I need a motion for all three. Whatever I need ready. Miss Ed? Okay, I need a motion to pay the BG Consultants. It's billing number 33. It's an amount of $42,086.13. And then I need your approval to do a CDBG draw request for $47,385. So the mayor will have to sign that. And Bennett pay request number 7, $388,932.04. So I'll need a motion to pay those.
Do we, when will we, are we getting a reimbursement back? It looks like we've already had some spending
So,
money out.
so
Because
June
it
1,
look-
I'll be able to get all these.
Cause it looks like we're spending more money than we have in our.
We should be getting money back this week.
We're waiting,
For
we're
our
waiting
last
to float
request.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting.
Okay,
to-
yeah, okay. I just wanna make sure we're not
Right, yeah, we're.
decounting the right to bad checks.
We're watching, right.
Yeah.
I'd be like, whoa, can't pay it.
Yeah.
Right, and if you'll recall, we were getting reimbursed quarterly and we couldn't front that kind of money on that. Half a
I
million
was just gonna make
dollars.
sure money's coming back.
Yeah, so you guys will approve it and then it won't be on the next, until the next warrant, and then June 1, I'll get the money back.
I'll make a motion to approve the payments.
One second.
Okay, I got a motion by Justin, a second by Linda. Clerk, please call the roll for 3 payments. One to BG, one to the CDVG draw, and the other to Bennett.
Josh, you have any questions on how that works? Basically, we spend the money, we got the grant.
Yep,
And they.
I went and talked, a
Okay.
couple weeks ago. I spent about an hour in here.
Okay.
Okay, Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Bentley,
Aye.
Councilmember
Yes.
Moore, Councilmember Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Navy.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have the monster tree at Third and Walnut. I had asked for a professional evaluation of whether the tree had any life left in it. Mr. Bill Moses, is he here?
Yes.
Okay. He looked at it and, the tree is officially declared deceased and needs to come down. It is hanging over Third Street tremendously. It lost a large limb during the last storm, and that's my inspiration. With that said, I think I need a motion to go out for bids.
Make that motion.
Motion by Ernie, a second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Navy,
Yeah.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, we have the business occupation tax. Mr. Wilkerson here.
He is not, but it is paid in full.
What is the business like? I'm just curious.
Okay, I'm gonna read it.
I'm just curious, cause I don't know.
No, everybody is curious. so I'm gonna read it for the record. Pursuant to the provisions of KSA 41-310K1, there is hereby levied an annual occupation or license tax of $150 on all retailers licensed to sell alcoholic liquor in the original and unopened package in the city of Chetopa, which shall be due and payable on or before January 31st of each year after the retailer's license is issued and the Director of Alcoholic Beverage Control of the Department of Revenue of the state of Kansas. Basically, since it's on the agenda, our treasurer saw this, discovered this, hadn't been paid in several years, and so you'll recall, about a year, maybe 2 years ago, we authorized Sunday sales of liquor in the city of Chetopa, which has really no bearing on this, but trying to lay a little bit of groundwork. Crystal found this omission and pursued it, and she got the city $900 in an occupational tax,
So it's just for liquor stores now?
unopened.
Right, unopened, okay.
I don't know much more to say
Well,
about it.
okay, I'm just curious why we're shit, I mean, it's occupation, business, I mean, just,
Well, one business.
that's what I'm getting at. Not that I wanna pay any more than anyone else, but I'm just saying, if it's a business deal, I don't know why we're just picking on the liquor stores, what I'm getting at.
It's not.
Well, I'm wondering if that KSA is even still current, because I can't even find when that ordinance was originally adopted. When I look back in the policy book that I had, there's no date on it. On your new ordinance book, there's no date on it, so I have no idea when it was even adopted. So the KSA may not even be current and correct.
Still on our ordinance books though.
Ordinance number 740. is
Grounds
what we have.
liquor, it's been paid for years.
Yeah.
Has anybody looked at that KSA?
And Amy and I both called the two different state ladies at the,
Alcohol beverage control.
right,
Uh-huh.
and they said if
It's
it's
a
in our
legit deal?
ordinance to
Okay.
pay it, then it is, the.
It's
business
in our
does-
ordinance book,
is
so it is
required.
a fee for doing business in city limits.
So
So it's a
is it
local
just the
ordinance
liquor
for
store
us.
that's Carbondale's?
So Carmendel's does the cereal malt beverage, so
Oh,
they
so
have to
maybe
pay
this is liquor.
$75.
Oh, this is liquor, okay.
But the convenience stores have to pay the stamp fee.
Gotcha.
Keyword being liquor, not beer.
So it's,
Correct.
okay, it's an alcoholic deal.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Troy Bartlett, is he here?
You can see that.
Utilities officer.
Right, so code enforcement has served him a letter. So we're just needing an update on that.
Got on the agenda, so that kind of stopped what we were doing until we seen what you guys were gonna do. So if you wanna proceed with basically, if you're gonna go through the, Shane, correct me if I'm wrong, to remove him from the property, you're gonna have to go through the county attorney, correct?
I believe so, yes.
You have to petition the county attorney.
And this is because he's not hooked up to city utilities.
We have others that we've served as well. Okay.
Clark, do you have a list of all these non-hooked up folks?
Yes, the city treasurer has
There's at least 3 I know of in town.
Are these the same three we were talking about a meeting before? Okay. Well, I say we press forward, council.
Now, is this just on him or all three?
So he is the only one that replied and said he wanted to come talk to you guys. So he's been on the agenda the last 2 meetings.
Okay, well, that's what I'm just asking, I mean, it's about not being hooked up to city utilities.
And there's an ordinance, so
So what I'm saying is, if we're doing one, I mean,
Kind of up on all three.
then
They can all three be
It's time to go after all.
that's what I'm getting at, not just him. I mean, if you're gonna do
Yeah.
what's good for one is good for,
I guess he's the only one that wanted to come talk to the council.
which he didn't show up, so.
So we'll proceed on all three.
I'll make a motion to proceed on all three.
Motion by Justin, second by Ernie, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley,
Yes.
Councilmember Nading.
Yep.
Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Okay, community volunteer waiver. As Shane alluded to earlier, we did get a response from his office. We do have a form, but I can't share that because I haven't got a response from the city insurance agent yet from her corporate headquarters allowing us to use the city equipment. Until that's done, I'm gonna table this. But we are getting up somewhere and we're looking into it. In the meantime, volunteers, please keep coming forward with your own equipment. I need a motion to table it though, that's my preference.
Motion to table, community volunteer waiver.
Motion by Ernie. Second. Second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Navy.
Before we go on to new business, I want to address a couple of issues that I skipped myself, but I had the clerk put in your packets a Kansas statute in reference to the registration of vehicles. I went and talked to the county sheriff about this issue of out-of-state tags. And understanding that a domicile is defined as basically where you lay your head at night to sleep. And if you'll note there in paragraph 1.
Did say that?
It states that a person is a resident of a county in this state if any of the following exists. And it lists 5 different things. The one that I highlighted says owns, leases, or rents a place of domicile within such county and remains in such county for a period exceeding 90 days, except for infrequent or brief absences. I also was shown a cheat sheet that the county sheriffs carry around in their vehicles. And it has a misdemeanor for failure to get a Kansas tag. That tells me if you're living in Chetopa and you have out-of-state tags, you have 90 days. And I think your driver's license is 90 or less too, to change that over. Really no difference. Those tickets can be written by our police department and run through our municipal court as a misdemeanor, is what I'm being told. I, for one, am tired of hearing that we can't do anything about it. I'm being told that we can, we just don't want to.
Is that in our, I've never found that in our,
I don't know that it's in.
and I
your
spoke with the
code
other
book.
sheriff, and he misspoke, he thought it was in our standard traffic ordinance,
Yeah,
but it is not.
that's what we adopt, and I don't believe it's in there.
No.
So if you say that, Scott, you don't have the authority to write the tickets, right?
It has to go through district court, because it's not, we adopt every year the standard traffic ordinance and the uniform public code of offenses. If it's not in those 2 books, it has to go through district court.
And so that's the sheriff's issue.
The sheriff, it has to be issued on county citations.
Isn't it true that we can amend the standard traffic ordinance to suit our needs as a city?
I presume that we can, I'd have to research, but I presume we can.
Okay, would you please look into that?
I will.
Thank you.
What about out of gun tags? You're gonna do those as well?
What? Repeat?
Out of county tags?
That would be the same situation, wouldn't it? I mean,
Well, if you're after.
if you're paying cheaper tag in Cherokee County than you are, yeah, I mean.
He's referring to my tags.
Oh, there's several in town, I noticed.
But I have one.
Well, we're not gonna
I have one
discuss
tag
against
in
one
Lobet.
person or
I have
the
one
other,
tag in Lobet. I have one tagged at Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma down at the lake, and my property at the lake, and I have two of them tagged over in Cherokee County. But my daughter's name is on the tag, and my apartment's still over in Galena, and I still have a residence over there. So I have two vehicles tagged over there. One in Oklahoma tagged, and one tagged here in Kansas, in Lobet County. And the judge, when I presented him one time on tags like that, the judge says, my vehicle has no residence. It's not a person. It has no residence.
Well, then none of the Oklahoma tags. Do they? I mean, how do we justify that one way or the other?
Let me read it again. If you're laying your head to sleep in Chetopa, the city limits, you should have a Lobet County and a Kansas tag. Just like on an ATV or golf cart, there's a city tag for these as well. I don't know how else we can get the word out. We put it on every media forum that we have, and I see at least 2, 3 a day running around with nothing displayed on it. I would think that everybody else's eyes is as good as mine at my age. That can see whether they're not tagged properly, whatever it is. I don't care who you are. We need to all follow the same rules. This is revenue for our city, which we don't have a lot of.
County treasurer, I've never known anybody that had to redo a county tag just because they moved from one county to the next. I think when you renew your tags the next year, then it catches you.
Yeah, I have a house in Montgomery County too, and when we lived over there, when we moved from Quebec to Montgomery County, when my tags were due, I just went to Montgomery County courthouse and got my Quebec County tag. I didn't have to do it in 30 days, 60 days or something like that. The tag was good.
Cause it's
Pursuant
the
to
state of Kansas.
Yeah, and no different than if you have a vehicle and it's got a current tag, but you don't own it because you're waiting on it. Because we bought what is our digger truck that we bought in where? Iowa, and we brought it back. But do we have a Kansas tag on it? No. We do? Okay. So how long did that take?
You bet, man.
Went up and got a temp tag to work the next day.
Okay.
But to me, this stuff is just as relevant as the dog and cat licenses that we ask people for $1. But the main point is we're asking you to get your animals spayed, neutered, shots. So if they go on somebody else's property and bite them, they don't get rabies. And I can probably count on my fingers and toes how many people actually abide by that. But yet I can drive down Pecan. And they're everywhere.
And we have talked to Tyler, our Chetopa vet, and he is willing to have a vet clinic, if the city can absorb some of the costs. Remember?
That is a fact. We talked to him personally about that. Having a vet day on a Saturday for a few hours. If the city would pick up $10 per animal, he would give them all shots.
Get them tagged.
And therefore you can come here and get a tag.
It's 25 if they're not spayed or neutered.
And 50,
And it's $1 if they are.
right, there's a charge. But the point is, do you want somebody else's animals that some claim and some don't doing their business in your yard?
Happens every day at my house.
It does it mine too, and I'm sick of it.
It irritates me, yeah.
But you know, I understand there was a gentleman put a video out on one of our Facebook pages, said, come and get your dog or he's gonna take matters into his own hands.
Well, I just shot a dog that was in my yard, so I didn't worry about it.
I get that, but if somebody calls the police, and I know Justin's dog got shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, y'all tell me what.
No, it's not a felony charge. You shoot somebody's dog in the yard.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Trigger making it. That's that gentleman right there.
I have to. He said he would.
Well, discharge on a firearm inside the city limits is illegal, but is it a felony?
I don't think that's a felony.
But you also have the right to protect your property and yourself. That's what the vicious animal comes on your property and is going after your chickens or your kid. You have the right to defend.
I believe that's what the individual said, that the dogs were trying to attack him or bite him. But there's easier ways to deal with it.
My mom's called 6 times on Great Danes coming over her fence, so don't tell me there's an easier way to deal with it.
Well, I mean, other than killing somebody's dog.
Now, she told Travis if she's in the backyard and that dog comes over, you won't have trouble finding it. He came to the front door and told her she couldn't do that. But when she said I'm 82 and have a broken hip, and if that dog knocks me down, we're talking small ponies.
Right. And I guess where I'm going is responsible pet ownership.
So if we would have this clinic and they have to be tagged, the wanted question, if you have an animal in town and it's not tagged, what happens to it?
If it gets picked up.
Like these Great Danes that's out.
They're supposed to be ticketed.
And they were.
Okay. I'm not saying they weren't, I don't know, but.
And they were also, they got all their tags, didn't the Travis?
I believe I read somewhere that after so many days, I think it was 3 or 5, they get euthanized if they haven't been picked up at the vet. That's what I remember.
3 days.
3 days. But the city picks up the euthanization cost, which is $100.
Yeah.
So don't you think that's a beginning step of where we need to get back to? Because we used to have these clinics down at the water plant.
I do.
I
And
mean,
you know what? Look, I think I'll go ahead and call for a motion to go ahead and get with our veterinarian and set something up if you guys are.
I'll
agreeable.
donate $100 for him to do shots, if it's gonna be $10 a piece, is that what he asked for?
I believe you did.
So these pet owners have to bring their.
Need a motion, Bob?
We're gonna bring
Make a
them
motion.
to the clinic.
To make a motion on the pet clinic.
Got a motion on the floor by Ernie. I need a second, please. Second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Navy.
Yes. Motion passes. You want to set that up for us, please? Okay, here's an enjoyable one. City clerk, oath of office. We are now going to swear Amy in as the new city clerk, effective one day on this 6th day of May. Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of city clerk, so help me God. Congratulations.
Next is the addition of the second job approval. Police second job.
Okay, our newest Public Works employee is requesting permission to accept the position of head football coach at Chetopa High School. Wow. This is a seasonal paid position that will not conflict with my current responsibilities in the Public Works Department. I view this opportunity as a meaningful way to contribute to the development and growth of the youth in our community, and I am dedicated to supporting our students both on and off the field. And I believe this role will allow me to make a positive impact. Thank you for your time and consideration. Roman W. Bruce.
Make the motion to approve that.
Second.
I got a motion by Brenda, a second by Ernie. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nading.
Yeah.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes. Motion passed. Okay, we are down to employee resignations. I've got 3 resignations from the same department. To read to you. Governing body of Chetopa, it is with my deepest regret that I tender my resignation as chief of police. I have proudly served the city of Chetopa for 18 years and 7 months. It had been my hope and desire to finish my career with Chetopa. However, circumstances being what they are, I do not feel that is possible. I will forever be grateful to the many people that I've served over the years, as well as the co-workers that have become more like family. My last day to serve will be May 23rd, 2025, and it is my intention to assist my successor in all operations of the department to ensure a seamless transition. Respectfully, Scott Keyfaith. Need a motion to accept resignation. Scott Fagan.
I'll make a motion to accept Scott's resignation.
I got a motion by Justin, second by Linda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yeah.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nading.
Yeah.
Second, we have, it is with regret that I will tender my resignation as police officer for the city of Chetopa after 14 years of service. I'm giving my registration for my last day to work for the city to be on May 15, 2025. It has been my honor to serve the city and my childhood home. However, in light of recent events that have taken place in the city, I cannot in good conscience continue to work here. Respectfully, Travis Rakestraw. Need a motion to accept Travis's resignation, please.
Make a motion.
Second. Motion by Linda, second by Justin. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yeah.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Nading. Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yeah.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Motion passes. Lastly, on Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, I, Officer Alexis Schofield, will be putting in my resignation from the city of Chetopa. The resignation date is Friday, May 16th, 2025. I appreciate the opportunity I was given to serve the city of Chetopa, and during my time here, I learned a lot about becoming an officer. I felt honored to have earned the respect of those who respected me and my job duty during my time with the city. At this time, I have another opportunity that has been presented to me for better pay, training opportunities, a stable working environment, and more time with my children. I never imagined leaving my first agency in 8 months due to a hostile work environment. I took pride in the city and citizens that remain living here. I will ask that I be released from my contract with no repercussions for it. If there are any questions, I would like to answer them, but if there is not, I ask that my resignation is accepted for the date mentioned above. I'm gonna add a note here. This individual signed a 2-year contract with the city. And, I'll leave it to the council. With that said.
Make a motion to approve the resignation.
Second.
I got a motion by Justin, a second by Linda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Yes. Councilmember Bentley,
No.
Councilmember Moore.
Yep.
Councilmember Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Navy.
Yes. Motion carried 5-1.
I have a question. How are you going after the other female officer for breach of contract and you're gonna let her out first?
We have something else here first. Do you want to discuss
I'm
it?
sorry, I'm just asking a question. I'm not aware what's on the table.
Well, we'll explain it here in just a second then. Do you want to try it?
Do we need to go in executive?
No, I think this needs to be brought to the table, right?
Okay.
Right. Right here. Control conditions for the city of Chetopa. This is from the sheriff ice center. Here. It is the city releases Alexis Schofield of any and all contracts with the city of Chetopa. The city allows Scott Fagan, Officer Ray Straw, Officer Schofield to keep their current body armor. Body armor is tailored to fit each officer, is only good for that officer. The sheriff's office will conduct day and night patrols for the city of Chetopa for 2 months, free of charge if the above conditions are met. After 2 months, if the city has not filled the positions within the police department, the Labette County Sheriff's Office will continue to conduct patrols of the city for a fee to be determined by the sheriff of Labette County for a time period not to exceed 6 months. City of Chetopa's police officers will cover 5 midnight shifts, 5-day shift, 5-day weeks, with the sheriff's officers covering and maintaining 2 nights. The Labette County Sheriff's Office does not handle animal calls. Situation is she is going to the sheriff's department because of the work conditions here in town. We've got 2 options here. We can leave, let her leave in good standings with the sheriff's department because we're literally screwed right now. We're down to 1 officer. We can,
What are they gonna charge us?
Yeah, it's open-ended because they can charge you whatever you want.
Well, that's why I mean, we gotta have 24/7 patrol.
Yeah.
I just wanna know what it,
from what I've heard, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, it's $5,000 to $6,000 a month.
It's only $60,000 a year.
that's per shift, I think.
That's
Per shift?
Yeah.
Well, then we'd be better
Well,
off to hire people.
It's 2 months. We've got.
That's what I'm getting at. If we're gonna.
Yeah, if we're gonna do that, then, you know, we
We
can,
need to get someone hired.
yeah.
Yeah. But we better have a good working relationship with our sheriff's department right now if we're gonna have any patrol right here.
Yeah.
So I agree. And
Saying that they would choose not to cover the county? If there's a problem down here, cause I mean, I think.
No, they're putting their,
That's what you said. You
they're
don't
putting
have a
their
good
patrol
relationship
here.
with the sheriff's department.
They're putting their patrol here.
They have to anyways, it's Labette County. If we had no officers at all,
They don't have to put, they don't
they
have to
still
put an
have to
officer
patrol
in
this
the
town.
city
If
of
they had no
Chetopa.
officers at
No,
all,
they do not
they
put
have
a
to
city-
patrol this town.
They do not have to put an officer in this town.
They have to patrol this town, so that means the officer has to be in this town. He ain't gonna drive around the city limits and goes, I'm gonna go in there whenever they call me. He has to go into this town.
By being the city of the second class, you have to provide law enforcement. You can either do that by having a police department or contracting with an outside agency.
If we don't
What is
provide,
Edna?
the state can come
What is
in
that? Is that a
and
third-class
unincorporate
city?
us.
Third class?
They still have to as well. If you're incorporated, you have to provide law enforcement.
24/7 or just one shift?
You can,
That's the
cities in the third class, like Mount Valley and Edna, Edna gets 30 hours a month of an actual officer in town. Mount Valley gets 50 hours a month.
Okay, a month. That's it.
And they pay,
So we wouldn't have people here maybe of a night or,
well, it depends what you want to pay.
well, that's what I'm getting at. That's,
2 hours a day.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3.
It's the
what they
price to
get.
have 24/7 coverage, it's gonna be between $400,000 and $500,000 a year. Cause he has to hire 4 deputies, outfit 4 trucks, 4 equipment, benefits.
I had an individual tell me that back in the 50s and 60s, the police officers provided their own vehicle, and there were only 2 of them. Yep.
It's a different world now.
And it was a bigger town then. than it is.
Yeah, it's
But it's a different world.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, there was two police officers here in town, George and Nadine.
So Justin, when you said,
But
can
I
you
don't
make
know
that a
that
little
we
bit
can,
more clear, when you said for 2 months, is that 24-hour service?
it's not,
I'm trying to come up with the fee because Carly's was 21,000, so I'm trying to justify where we're at with the fees for 2 months. Are you saying it's basically gonna
It
cost?
says that
If that's
they
a-
will conduct day and night patrols for the city.
so I assume 24 hours for 2 months. So that would be like 3.
if that's truly the case, we couldn't afford to have them do it anyways.
I don't know
No.
if that is 24/7 coverage.
Right, it's an open contract. He can write in and do whatever he wants. This says nothing. This has nothing on
Well,
it.
the other-
Specifics.
The other thing that I've
What
heard
do you
that's not even said
What's the
in
attorney
here
say?
was, I've been told that he said he would buy Alexis's contract out to the city.
You're right, I think he means they're going to pass through and cover. the-
That's right, just pass
They
through.
won't be here all the time. That's what I think, but I don't know.
Right,
What's
because
your
it's not specific.
interpretation?
Neither is the amount.
Exactly right. Okay. What he told me is that he would provide coverage, answer calls for service here, and conduct patrols intermittently throughout the day. The Chetopa.
So we're not gonna have
would be
someone
out-
24/7.
No,
The Chetopa officer would be out midnights the whole time.
right.
And the reason he requested that is because he has more coverage in days to come down here and patrol and they handle calls for service. And I also told him, and he agreed, that while if I'm off duty and there is a critical call come in, a domestic, whatever, that they will call me and I will go out and handle it and he'll pay me for that. And if the on-duty deputies are not close.
So again, I asked you, how are we gonna go after
That's what I want to know what you.
Eichler? And I know because I
Just
physically
a-
have talked to her that she left due to a family emergency and family issues.
Right.
And what she's told me is that Scott told her that she couldn't leave and that there wouldn't be any problems. I wasn't any
It's
part of that
hearsay.
conversation,
It's
I'm just
hearsay.
repeating what was said to me.
It's
She
hearsay.
said she has
It's not as
emails and
specific
stuff,
as you
so.
want it like, that's the difference.
That's the problem. It's not as
I'm
specific
just,
as it should
I'm
be.
just telling you, I'm.
I would ask that if anybody has anything to say, to wait to be recognized and come to the podium. This is a very serious subject, and Not everybody is hearing everything that is being said. Tammy, would you like to take the podium and repeat what you just said, please?
I think they all heard me.
But
I did.
there was another
I
conversation.
can't hear nothing in
going on
this room,
today.
Tammy, from back here.
The issue that she has said is how are we going to go after Officer Eckler's restitution if we let Officer Schofield?
So the way that reads to me is they're kind of buying her out of her contract. That's the way I read it.
We're gonna pay for it one way or the other.
I mean, that, the way I'm reading it, and I'm not, he probably ought to read it and make sure, but the way I'm reading it, he's gonna, what is it, 21,000? Is that what the other contract, is that what we're after?
All the body armor and everything.
Okay, so way I'm reading it is they're gonna give us that patrol for that amount of money, is the way I'm reading it.
But he also said it's just not 24-hour patrol, it's just coming in and doing spotty in and out. And
So we don't have a set, there's not a set, we haven't agreed, but we haven't signed or
no
agreed to
agreement
that.
on how many hours are gonna be here patrolling.
I would
when they're
say
patrolling.
someone needs to get,
Nothing's in this.
I'd say we need to get a schedule before something's signed.
And the amount they're gonna charge us and
Yep.
everything else.
Yep.
Yep,
Well, this is
Do
nothing.
we, I mean,
This is
but there's,
nothing.
This is nothing.
This is nothing.
Let me explain something. I was up in Oswego Monday. When was that solid waste meeting? Was it Monday? I was in Oswego at another meeting. Sheriff Isinger happened to be in that same meeting. We talked. We went into a room and this was presented to me. It was already typed up, expecting to talk to me at some point, I suppose.
So who negotiated all this?
I have no idea where this came from, other than he handed it to me and said, this is the deal on the table, basically.
So aren't there laws to that? Aren't there guidance? We gotta follow that, or is it just?
Well, I'll tell you, I feel like we're being held over the barrel
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
and being held hostage because our officers are resigning and at least 2 of them, and maybe 3, are being signed on by the people that are holding us hostage.
Wait a minute, I think all 3 of them right here are going to the same spot.
Yeah.
I agree. Therefore, I am not a proponent of signing any, I won't sign this, matter of fact, I'll tell you that right now. The council can pass it, but I will not sign it. We can go out and put applications out for officers. And as far as I'm concerned, we meet the requirements for trying to fill our police department.
That's what I think.
There are also some other avenues that I would discuss in executive.
Well, legal, if an officer leaves within the first year and goes to another department, statutorily, that department has to pay the costs associated.
That's what's not written down in here that I
Yeah.
was wondering what I heard, because I heard that he had said that he was going to buy her contract out for her employment, which is not unheard of for.
No, but it's not, the deal is we ain't got numbers, hours, or, I mean, that.
No, this doesn't tell me anything.
That's right.
That other part that was told to me was left out.
Vague as
This.
can be.
What it tells you is you get 2 free months of semi-patrol
Right, semi-patrol.
for $20,000 plus.
Plus the body armor and whatever else goes with
I'm
it.
just, I'm not gonna sign it and, I won't commit the city to that.
I'm gonna say we better have a working relationship with our sheriffs. We'll run right shit around.
We already have that. They're down here all the time. They cannot deny coming into this town and patrol.
Beat up on that.
I think whoever dispatch calls is the ones that answers the phone.
I think the Sheriff Isinger, and Shane, you probably know this, he said statutorily, the only calls he has to respond to into a municipality is felony level offenses.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So he does not have to respond to domestics, he does not have to respond to,
What about a domestic that turns into a felony?
I think the mayor maybe needs to go talk to the 3 county commissioners and see if there can't be something worked out also.
This mayor has
because-
already talked to the commissioners, but some of that
About
was
them.
private conversations, but, that's.
I have a little
I had a
overview.
conversation
I have a
with
little
these guys in
overview.
trouble with the Kansas open meeting.
No, I didn't talk to all 3 of them at the same time, but what I'm saying is that's what spawned this letter, Amber.
I don't understand it. We have 911 on our last, census. So a second-class town refers to a municipality or at a population between 1,000 and 6,000. So I don't think we quite make it. And I bet if they counted us again, we're a heck of a lot less.
Yeah,
But you can't regress into a third party, or third city or third class. I already looked into that. You can go up, but not back,
Right?
because you lose a lot of your,
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well,
We want to stay second class.
go ahead.
I am a concerned business owner.
Yes, ma'am.
I have two businesses that our police department has done a wonderful job of protecting us over the year. I mean, yes, I have an alarm system and it goes off, but they're Johnny on the spot checking for me and all. So you guys all know that I work late hours at the bank, and also this is a very high concern of mine. I just want you guys to know that on both of my businesses.
Noted. Like I said, we're gonna go out. If the council approves, we'll go ahead and list the positions that have been vacated tonight to be filled. There's go through the job interview process that we normally do for new employees. There are a couple of other avenues that I'm investigating that I'm not ready to share yet. Other than that,
same here. I've got a few of them that I've talked to, and when they said they'd do what's necessary. A short period of time, 3 to 6 months, but they're willing to step forward while we get the police officers put in place to replace them.
go ahead, Bill.
Are you gonna have, since Scott is stepping down and Travis is stepping down, are you gonna have anybody put in there as an interim police chief? So Scott can kind of go over things with them? I mean, you got one guy left. We gotta have a boss.
I think Jason needs to be our, chief of police.
I don't know if you guys thought about that.
I agree.
Someone's gotta be
yeah,
the guy to contact.
yes.
Is Jason not gonna submit a resignation?
I haven't planned on submitting a resignation. no.
Okay. I'm just asking. 3 out of 4. I'm not a gambler, but that'd be up to the council.
I'll make a motion to,
I don't appoint, anything below police chief, right? Correct?
I believe it.
You approve all appointing city employees. That's how they've done it. Of course, that doesn't mean it's right, but.
Fireman too.
Cities of second class require all officers elected or appointed to be qualified electors of the city, except for the city attorney, municipal judge, and law enforcement officers, who must either be residents of the state or, in the case of the city attorney, a qualified elector. That's not what we're looking for. You know offhand, Shane?
I don't know offhand.
I believe that we only appointed the chief of police this last, when Ryan did it.
Was he not gonna be the chief of police? He's
Well,
the only one left.
yeah, I mean, we gotta have a chief.
Jason.
You'll be the one that
Are you
appoints
gonna
him.
do that as interim?
We don't, you do. The
That's what I mean. If he's the only one left, he's it.
Can I say something? Jason is more than qualified and competent to assume the role. I have
Are
full
you
faith
good with
in
that,
him.
Jason?
I
Yes,
will
Jason
help
said
Yeah,
yes.
so you probably ought to ask him for you.
That's
throw
what I
him into
just
the
asked
fire.
him, yeah. Yeah, that's what I just asked him, he said yes. I don't know why I did, but I just did it.
I'm not ready to appoint, if the council wants to name Jason as the interim police chief, you may make that motion.
I make a motion to make him
Second.
interim chief.
Second.
I got a motion by Josh, a second by Justin.
See,
Please call us.
Councilmember Wolf,
yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seamus,
Yes.
Councilmember Navy.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I cannot work unappointed. It leaves the city open for litigation. And if we do not have a department head, then we cannot work. We will not, police department.
I'm not ready to do that.
Well, but Scott's the chief right now until the 23rd of May, correct?
Right.
Now, that may change to 15. That'll still make my 2-week notice.
If he leaves it by the 15th, if we don't have a department head appointed, then we will not have the police department.
So you'll hand in your resignation, is that what you're saying?
Well, the city's gonna have to let me.
Okay, that's, yeah.
Well, you're saying you'll have to be appointed to the interim position.
Yes, because if I'm not, we don't have a department head by statute. we
By
cannot have a
statute.
police
Okay, so that's how it has,
Okay.
We don't have another meeting by the 15th.
Shane, I need your input.
I would recommend that you appoint him now. I don't know that you have a voice of it.
Right.
Well, we haven't put feelers out for.
I was running short.
We don't have time for it.
Even if he's an interim, you don't have to appoint him if you got somebody else more qualified.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When
But he needs to be appointed now.
To fill the statute.
There will be a blank spot in there between the day.
But you can do it anytime between now and the 15th, I guess, too.
That'll be a blank spot. We need him in there.
There won't be another meeting. but-
Yeah.
Right, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
we
saying.
have to approve appointments.
Guys, we're gonna have to work together. Yeah, to get through this crisis.
He knows what's going on, he's been here.
Can I say something else too? Just, kind of help out. I do have 20 years' experience.
Yep.
I have multiple accolades. I've been decorated. I've had multiple awards throughout my career. I'm willing to stay to fight for the city.
Yep. I'll vouch for him every time that we talk.
I'm gonna say this. Jason, you know, you and I have talked, several occasions. I have no problem with you personally. What I have a problem with is four-wheelers running up and down my street. Every time I look out my door, it's the same two people, and we can't seem to do anything about it.
If we can catch them, we can. But I can't.
You know what? There's a pink house on Fourth and Pecan that those four-wheelers stop at. We cannot,
And how many times have we cited them, Travis? 3 times that I've.
I cited Jason Dugan at least twice. I think Alexis has cited him once.
We cannot pursue a 4-wheeler because that's constitute deadly force. If he would wreck out and kill himself, then he's gonna own, his family's gonna own the city. We cannot pursue.
we would lose our careers.
To this
I'm
deadly
talking
force.
about when they're stopped. And they don't even have a tag on these.
So we
They
have to
run from
catch
us.
them. We have to catch them moving.
Then-
Is there a police?
I've seen it firsthand out at the park. I've seen how he goes. There's no, you wanna stop him? You wanna stop him? You're gonna have to rope him.
Well, and
That's the way.
we've got four
You're
police,
gonna kill him and he's gonna do it. And we've been there.
we've got 4 police trucks that can't stop the four.
When he's on that and he's running from them, I've seen it, and he's gonna either hurt himself, somebody, or.
The last time he was charged with the 4-wheeler not being registered, expired driver's license, fleeing a load. And we Alexis cited him for everything that he did statutorily. Served him, he's gotta go through court. But we cannot chase a 4-wheeler. It's just considered deadly force. If he wreck out or hit somebody,
Speak.
So I'm not even joking. Anytime I get called to a 4-wheeler call, I don't care what time of day it is. I go out and I do it. I do my job to the best of my ability. I had seen Jason Dugan. I knew it was him. He looked at me, booked it. And when he booked it, I'm not even joking. He almost about got hit on Maple. And it's not worth ending my career over that. And it's not worth getting him killed for that. So I disregarded. I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And then I went to his house. I literally had county go with me. I went to his house, got all the evidence I needed, and now we're just waiting for the court to take it into their own hands. But I literally gave him a citation for every single thing that I could.
so
So
you're
we're trying.
saying nothing's being done is not fair. We are doing things. We are limited by what we can do legally.
He literally looked at me and said, "Get off my property." It wasn't me.
So Bob, are you gonna deprive Chetopa of a cheap place because of the four-wheeler
And
thing?
I found him,
Yeah, and that's been
and
such.
Tammy, I found him and he just made it on his property.
Say it again, Lynn.
I said, are you gonna
That's what
deprive?
it made it sound like, is that you were to the point where
You
guys can mail.
I'm just saying
You have
that
to serve them to them.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought they mailed some of
Well,
them.
surely there's something.
But I never got
More
certified
certified.
truck CM can,
He
but.
was right better start with food stamps. Blowing right food stop signs.
I know, but just like they said, I used that for
Yeah.
all of them.
They do not excite
You can almost set the clock on her.
I don't work on it. I just wanted to.
Impound the floor. Order. I hereby appoint Jason Womack as interim police chief for the city of Chetopa.
I'm making a motion to approve it.
I got a motion by Justin, second by Brenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf.
Aye.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley. Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you.
Go get him. Are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. First responder, first quarter pay request. Right, okay. Gotcha. First quarter runs for 2025. Total of 28 responders at $20 response, $560.
Make motion.
Motion by Linda,
Second.
second by Ernie. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Yeah.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Okay, we're moving on to the solid waste committee meeting that we had Monday up at the county. Same old story. GFL is wanting a pay raise to haul our trash from Parsons to Arcadia, which is a semi, 5 to 6 semi truckloads a day. That's our transfer station. We take it from here up to Parsons. The alternative, she don't have any for everybody else.
Have a few.
They're wanting a pay raise. County doesn't want to give them one. They brought in a lady from the state to talk about a landfill. The folks from the Great Plains have decided that they may offer up in part of that, the old ammunition plant. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna stop till everybody's done having a party in the back.
What's going on?
Hey.
You good now, Josh? Well, you asked.
You can check to like 500 some.
Right.
Not sure what was going on out there, but it was disturbing to me.
We have 5 semi-loads going, or they have?
They're trucking what they said, 5 to 6 semi loads out of there to Arcadia. Now Parsons and everybody takes to.
Everybody goes there. Alpine, Green Country, Parsons.
We pay by the ton.
Yeah.
But the main point is they brought in a lady from the state. She was out at Topeka to brief on landfills. There's a lot of downside and cost. The other alternative is an incinerator type, process that evidently down in Tulsa, they're running, pipes underneath the incinerator that heats steam and then they get some energy out of it and it kind of pays for itself. But this is all stuff down 5 or 10 years down the road. But point being, we can't continue down the same road with trash that we are currently on. So really, the can got kicked down the road, but there's a website there at the county. You can go read all about what was discussed. And I think there's even a video on what she said, but
What do they want to raise ours?
excuse me.
How much do they want to raise ours?
It never really amounts to a big number up front, but when you start multiplying it by the tonnage and then, they're under a 5-year contract that they keep wanting to come back and do change orders to because they're not making enough money.
Yeah.
But we're already under a contract and they're wanting to add on, even though we've signed a contract?
Correct.
You know.
You know, I'll say too, Josh, that seems to me to be, starting to become commonplace with contracts. Change orders seem to be more the norm than the exception. Because of some, a lot of things they don't know about in the beginning when the contract's signed, but they might just spend it. But anyway, we're on that. Miles and I are the ones that go to those meetings, so we'll keep you informed.
Employee vacation approval.
Okay, Jason Morgan has requested 5 vacation days. I'm not gonna reveal the dates, but we need a motion to approve his vacation.
Make a motion to approve Jason Morgan's 5 vacation days.
Second.
Motion by Ernie, a second by Chuck. Clerk Dollar.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
My mom really appreciates it.
Okay, I'll go with that. Well earned too, I'll say.
Thank you. I will let him know.
We, Chuck, after we met with the McGuire guys, Jason jumped on a bush hog and went and mowed that around the
Yes,
water.
yeah.
I didn't tell Miles until after I re-vectored him, but thanks, Miles.
No worries.
Reclosure control panel update. I got a few pictures here. Scott had briefed that Liberty was gonna come in and change out a couple of electrical poles, which they did, but when they moved our equipment and shut our power down, we didn't power back up in one area. This is what it looked like at night with all the vehicles that they had down by the water plant. Then I think there's one of the poles that they changed out, and then there's a second picture. A lot of our equipment was on there, but the next morning, this is the reclosure control box that powers up the reclosers, which we don't have a spare for either.
How old is that thing?
Excuse me?
How old is that thing?
Yeah, 95.
That's gotta be older than that.
We brought it to the shop here. We took it apart for what we could. Couldn't see any visible damage, but it's what shuts the reclosers on and off. So the same company, Solomon, Sunbelt Solomon out by Topeka, who handled our reclosers, handles these. We boshed it up and quite an exciting day to get that thing out of here, but the crew pulled together in the office and Miles got it UPS'd up to them over, I think overnight or maybe a day or two, but we're looking for an estimate and whether they can even repair it.
And that was at Salina.
It's up, it's called, the town is Solomon, but it's kind of in between Topeka and Kansas City.
Right.
It's north.
Just east of Salina, about 20 miles.
So just so everybody understands, we're running on 3 instead of 3 of the 4.
So the effect is that as the demand goes up, the hotter it gets, the more people demand, the more taxing it is on the other 3, right?
The way it was explained to me is that the city can run on 3. If we go to 2, somebody's not gonna have power, and
we don't have a backup.
we don't have any spares.
And we're coming into the summertime.
Right. So, we are looking diligently on the internet. We're talking with ICR. Crystal located about 4 different foreclosures online that are for sale, because this is really old technology. We don't know yet whether any of those will fit our bill because there's different voltages and wattages and stuff, but, did you get any kind of update with Colt today? Okay. We'll be coming back to the council as soon as we get some answers, and we may even call a special session, because this is very important.
So this is old technology, right? So what does it take? And I know it's a lot of money to start. Do you have to do it all new at one time to get us back, up to par?
These are all rebuilds, actually.
Well, that's what I mean. So what's it take to get us where we're not chasing something all over the internet for something old?
Millions. Liberty doesn't even want to touch us. Nobody wants to touch us. And matter of fact, I'll say that I'm supposed to meet with Colton in the next near future he's looking for a contract with the city.
Right. What does he say about this?
Well, I mean, this is the best that we can do.
Right.
And they're well aware. If we don't have spare parts, we don't have spare parts. If we get spare parts, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Scott had taken one recloser out there at Solomon. They totally rebuilt this thing. It looked beautiful when it came back, but it was a 98 model.
$5,000, I think it was.
Yeah, 5 versus what, 35,000?
Now, can I say something?
Sure.
The controllers, I had 2 years ago, I had a company come in and look, I think Tammy, came down there and met with the rep too. And there is a controller available that will run the old system, but the guy quoted they were $35,000 a piece.
So we're looking for a repair bill on the one that we sent, and we're gonna look at all options. But the point is, when people start kicking on their AC, the demand is gonna go up and down. And the day that we lose another recloser is the day one part of town is not gonna have a power. So I would caution everybody, maybe we wanna address that on our page.
How many reclosers did you have rebuilt? Do you have just 2?
And one that couldn't.
Well, the one they could not. It was
too rough.
So
I thought we had an extra.
We don't now. The one we took out there, they could not rebuild that. So we have no spare.
And is there a lot of grants out there for? I know after.
Colton and I have talked about the substation. He's gonna have to do us a concept paper, because I don't know anything about an electric substation, and I cannot write on something that I don't understand, so he's gonna have to help me with that.
That's something to look forward to.
We'll have to close out this sewer grant before.
Sounds like that's probably major.
Yes, I think so.
Now, to continue this conversation, and we're talking electricity here. Colton wants to sit down and have a contract with our city to do our electrical work, and that includes, with Jay Trower coming in and doing the line work and what have you. So when we set that meeting up, I'm gonna ask Lynn to attend. She has already set in with me. We had a meeting this week with Zach Llewellyn. to talk about basically the same issue, that he wants to be contracted to do the city plumbing and, wastewater repairs. This will relieve the load temporarily on, that we have in our public works manpower problem. We don't have any numbers yet. When I get those, or when we get those, we'll share them with you and come up with a decision. We think that's what we want to do, but sounds like to me that it's probably the best avenue. If you guys will recall, years ago, when we had the folks from KME come in, I think we were getting quoted, what, 600?
A lot of money.
A lot of money to have a lot of the teams come in here. These guys are helping us beyond anybody's realization on what they're doing for us for very little money, because they know we're in trouble, financial. So we'll get back with you on that, but I just wanted to say that we had set in with some meetings with these two gentlemen that already do a lot of work for the city, but some of it they don't even charge us for. Okay, I got one here that was, I'm gonna use this in my time. Today, the gray pickup truck that we approved the transmission repair, and you'll recall also there was an option on there to put a new radiator in it. Looks like we're gonna need both of those, and I think that was, we approved 2,900. Today, when they pulled the drive shaft out, the pinion on the rear end was very loose. I went down to look at it, Josh and I talked about it, was gonna pull the cover off the rear end. Did you get that or no?
No,
Okay.
no, I had doctor day.
It's the Ford F-150, it's 2008, it's I think Scott's original police truck, but we're using it in public works. It's got a fairly new engine in it that we put in it. We're putting the transmission in. We may end up having to put a rear end in it, or minimum new bearings. But my opinion is, and I think Josh too, it's still worth fixing. But it may be up to $2,000 to put a rebuilt rear end in if it goes that far. So I think we need a motion. So it's on his rack now. It can't come down and be pushed anywhere.
I told him the guy that one did not tell
Make that motion.
everyone approved on it.
I'll make that motion.
So can we just get a motion for up to 2,000, let's say? Would that?
Well, I'm gonna put, if metal's not went through it real bad, we ain't got metal and all if the gear oil's not gray and shiny, I'm gonna put pins and bearings in it. That'll solve the issue for no farther than this truck's going. And if it's a slurry and it's gray, it's not gonna last. I mean, we'll be doing it again, so
But in the interest of another meeting in 2 weeks, we should probably go ahead and
Yeah.
approve the hire.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was about 2,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something I have a 2 or 3 year warranty on it.
And Josh, you made a statement today that I would like to pass on too, that everything that he does mechanically for the city has a 2-year warranty. Is that correct? Okay. I got a motion on the floor by Ernie.
Yep.
Second by Brenda. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Yes. Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Simmons,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore, Councilmember Nady.
Motion passes.
The CNG license approved. So it's under ownership. Bills.
Okay, since Carmondale sold, if you didn't know, the new owner had to apply for a new CMV license, cereal malt beverage. So we just need a motion to approve that.
Motion approved. New CMB.
Motion by Ernie, second by Justin to approve. Council, of course, please call roll.
And they did pass the background check. I had Scott do that, and then they paid the fee as well. Okay. Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yeah.
Can I add an executive session here for 10 minutes?
If you can, we'll just go with what's on the agenda. Who would you like in on?
Scott?
Is what we talked about.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Probably counsel, attorney, Jason and I.
Yep.
And then. Well, we probably ought to ask you that, Shane, I contacted the sheriff and he said that he'd be more than happy for us to call and put it on speakerphone. So as a group, it could be discussed. What, is that doable?
In an executive session? I believe so.
Yeah, not like person.
It's not like a personal.
So the meeting
I
on
don't
the
think it
10
can be
minutes.
televised then.
No, the recording will.
Oh, no, it shouldn't be.
No, the recording was.
What was he gonna do? Zoom in? Well, I didn't understand. It was a
Conference
speaker
call.
phone.
About speakerphone.
Oh, okay.
If that's what you guys want to do, I mean, he said he would.
Yeah, I want to hear from you.
Okay, so you're saying council, attorney, Jason, Scott, and Isinger?
By teleconference.
And for how long, Justin, I'm sorry?
And take 10 minutes?
That's good.
15.
Okay.
Huh? No, this is why I work so much yeah, and a Dan now almost.
Ready? Call this meeting back to order. Are there any motions to be made coming out of executive session?
Make a motion that we, put out that we are, looking to hire, 3 police officers.
Second. Got a motion by Ernie, a second by Justin. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman. Yes. Councilmember Navy. Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Motion passes. At this time, I'd like to give the citizens a chance, anybody that needs to say anything before we close out the meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I just got, concerned that I'm glad to hear you're gonna do the smoke test. My neighbor is down there on that Willow and Cherry. Every time we get a big event, that blows that manhole cover off. At least we're down to 1 manhole cover coming off. It used to be 3. For property values, it is a violation, and when one of those the manholes open up, that's really important.
We recorded.
I know you do. I appreciate that. I also had some concerns about sewer homes. I talked to girls about, I think number 1 looks like something wrong. It's way too high.
It's because all the fresh water pouring into it. That's what Miles and I were talking about. That thing's got, the water pouring in is clear. There ain't no sewer in it. And then those guys are trying to find it. They're gonna do that smoke test.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do it over the whole city. They're not gonna do just the portion they did, but they're gonna go over all the old stuff.
Where the
done 10
rainwater's
years ago.
coming in and out.
It was done 10 years ago.
It's gotta be a tremendous amount.
Oh, there's a lot of water coming in from somewhere.
And what will people do about it when they are notified? Cause it will be, if it's on their end of the, from the main to their house, it's that bottom.
Yeah, but I don't think that much water's coming in that. This is water that's flowing in from.
That'll be something huge to, I mean,
I'm
run like that.
suspecting the gym. I gotta go find out where that's running to. I don't think it runs into the creek.
And to be
If you're
fair,
saying the schools hooked to the sewer system, that could very well be a large
Lot of
amount
water.
of water.
and they just put a new roof.
And I think that gym runs into the sewer system.
The old gym,
Yeah.
well, I'm sure it does.
That's
Just
that's
that one
even-
building, with that one building caused all the
I'm
problems.
getting mine.
It's gotta be-
Well, that's a lot of water.
I need
You
to-
stop.
That's a lot of surface area that, I mean,
To be fair though, the contractors are scratching their head too. They don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
why all the work they've done hasn't.
But that
produced.
smoke test should, I mean, it's gotta come out somewhere.
But we have to
It'll come out.
authorize that because we gotta buy the chemicals to do it.
Another thing along that line, you could, that ditch down there, when that does overflow, it just covers that intersection.
Yeah, it
with
does.
Debris and
Yeah.
stuff, and that's pretty dangerous too. I just thought maybe I'd mention that, maybe work on that ditch a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't near as bad the last rain, but still, they were off, cause those caps floated clear off.
Yeah.
I floated them back on them during one of those rains and put them back over the top of it.
I've watched it, I got a video of it, it's running pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all fresh water.
Yeah.
And Dave, you reminded me of something too. Zach Llewellyn excavated the yard over by the museum. Has formed it up, so they're ready to pour concrete.
They poured concrete today.
Okay, great. So it's down and the jail will be moved over there probably in the next week or two.
Yeah.
Another question with the lagoons, could that possibly be that it's time to, and I don't know what word I'm looking for.
Clean out.
Thank you.
The new chemicals that we authorized Miles to buy, maybe during your tenure, I don't remember exactly, but that has caused a lot of that sediment to boil down. But again, we're putting so much rainwater out there that it's almost for nil. But the contractors are looking into it still. There's just too much still coming in to the system. That's the problem. Officer Schofield.
Yes, I wasn't in here whenever my resignation letter was read, so I wanted to know what the outcome of that was.
Your resignation was approved,
Okay.
but as far as the contract, that has been tabled.
Okay, when will I, know something on that?
We're waiting on legal.
Well,
We're gonna have a meeting.
it's yet to be determined. As you'll know. I can't be specific on a date.
Right. Okay, well, I just wanted to know, I don't know if this is something that needs to be in a private meeting or if I should just talk about it now, but, I had some concerns with that contract, so I just don't know when a good time would be to talk about it.
I didn't understand. What did you say about the contract? I don't hear
So,
that.
so I have some questions regarding my employment here, regarding the contract and the reason why I'm, resigning.
I don't think now's the time.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that should be done in an executive session as well.
Right. Well, that's what I was trying to figure out when a good time would be to talk about that.
Well, we're not gonna have another, what's the date of our next meeting? Our next meeting will be the 20th.
Okay. So I'll have to come in after my resignation date.
Are we gonna have to have a special meeting after the arrangements for the
Well,
sheriff's?
there may be need to call a special meeting.
One, yeah, because we're gonna have to approve some things.
That's undetermined, but
Once-
it's very possible.
So we may be calling a special meeting.
I'll need 3 council members, I think, to do that when the need arises. So. Until then, you're still under contract.
Okay.
Jason, are you satisfied right now with what?
I can talk to Darren tomorrow, and we'll have some more information after that.
Get with Amy when you know something and we'll talk. Okay, Bill?
Hey, just a quick question. I'm gonna bid on the tree.
Really?
Of course. Is it okay if Amy pays me when we get done and it's inspected and the job's okay? Instead of having to wait 2 weeks, you know?
I think the reason that policy was set was because of a building that was dropped and, if I'm not mistaken, and.
But if you guys accept a bid, I think we've always if they come in and the drive's complete and somebody's from the city's
Scott,
inspected it,
Scott usually inspected it,
Yeah.
you know.
then,
I've been doing that.
then I thought we could pay it, cause essentially the payment's been approved
Yeah.
with the bid, I mean, whenever.
Right, that's true. I don't have a problem with it, if Amy
I
can.
know the other thing you're talking about, we didn't know the dollar amount.
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a council position on paying when the tree? I've been going out and looking at the trees that he's cut and for the cemetery, because I'm the president and of the cemetery board and okay, and payment on those. But this is obviously going to be a big bill. I need a motion. Let's have a motion from the council to give me the authority to okay payment after I inspect the work.
I think.
Well, we gotta have bids first.
Yeah, we don't have.
No,
We're
no,
taking
wait a minute,
bids.
we're gonna get bids and then we're gonna award the bid and then the work will be done and then the payment will be made.
Right.
Somebody needs to
What-
inspect the job. For
Yeah, I figured it already, yeah, you've been doing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we make the motion, when we accept the bid, we can make a motion that we submit payment when it's completed.
Is that good with you?
Yeah, they're fine.
So, that's it. Linda's got a motion on the floor to adjourn. Second by Linda. Please call the roll one more time.
Councilmember Morris.
Yes.
Councilmember Simmons. Councilmember Nating. Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Dillon.
Yes. Motion back. Have a good evening. What's left of it?
Thank you for your service. That's the problem.